you been watching The Queer Ultimatum?
No. Is it good?
It's really hard because I really want it to be, but I just hate that fucking show. I think it's so fucked up and manipulative, but then I love lesbians, so.
And shit reality TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I've gotten so much worse in my old age. I really have never. I've watched one season of Love Island, and that's because my housemates watched it. Like I'm normally really good at this stuff.
I quite like reality TV. So.
Do you?
It's a bit of a. It's not even a guilty pleasure. I just like it.
I know. I have qualms with saying guilty pleasure. I think you should feel guilty about anything that brings you pleasure.
No.
Unless it's murder.
Yeah.
But as I said, I went, well, no, actually.
There's lots of things.
Yeah, like that horse guy.
Yeah, horse guy.
You should feel pretty guilty.
Wanking off that camel. Hello and welcome to Cruise Next. My name is James Albarn. This is Elsa Grace.
Oh.
Oh?
Low energy.
Oh, sorry, should I start again?
Yeah.
Do you want me to do it?
In a Northern Irish accent, but don't do that.
I was thinking of doing my usual.
No, it would have been a character.
Intros.
It would have been a I just think
But
England's involvement with the Troubles. I don't think that we should do it.
This is what I thought. I thought, not with this film.
Have some respect.
Have some bloody respect. So I'm not going to do it.
Good.
That was my Northern Irish is my only accent I can actually sort of do.
It's a hard one.
Hi now, Brian Kai. Graffiti.
Oh, excuse me.
Where's this come from?
What have you done with my tone deaf friend? That's really good, James. Yeah, that's so much better than your Michael Caine. You don't have to do it. But I know that you think that that's a good one. So I think if I tell you your Northern Irish is good in comparison with Michael Caine.
I'm not sure my Michael Caine's. I don't think any of my impressions are particularly brilliant. They are. But
I think some of mine are pretty good.
Oh, who do you do?
Just like people in my life.
Right, okay.
Like especially crew members that I work with a lot.
You do
really good impressions.
You would do really well on the impression circuit with that repertoire.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think I can do a good impression of a famous person, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I did just... No, I'm not going to say that.
Go on.
Should we carry on with the podcast intro? Welcome
to Cruise Next. This is the podcast where we... What was that?
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I thought I was having a stroke.
What was that?
What was that? That wasn't me, was it?
Hang on. Is that coming out of the headphones? Was that what it was? Hello? Was that what it was?
The acoustics just got really weird in here. Sorry.
I'm going to take the headphones out. I worried that it was like coming out of the headphones, and that's what...
Maybe because you were talking really loud into your lab. Try now.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello there. It was really weird though, wasn't it? That was odd. God, this is a good start to a podcast.
There's a glitch in the Matrix just then, guys.
So, if this is the first time listening to this podcast, then I'm surprised you haven't shut off already.
Terrible.
This is the podcast where we watch a film, we discuss it. Then at the end of the podcast, we dive into the credits of the film, we pick out a crew member, and from that crew member, we find our next film. Hence the name Cruise Next. Today, we are talking about Kenneth Branagh's film Belfast. And we got here by, as I check my notes from the previous episode, diving into the credits of Autumn de Wilde's Emma. And we found the food stylist from that film, Katherine Tidy. And she has brought us here today to Belfast.
Was she food stylist on Belfast?
Aye.
There wasn't a lot of food.
There wasn't a lot of food styling, though. Oh, I lost it. Elsa.
I didn't think that was bad, but I'm just like...
We're not doing it.
Are we doing it?
No, we're not doing it.
I'm not... You can do it.
Yeah.
I can only say daddy.
For reasons
Daddy?
we will
Biological?
not explain.
It's biological.
We all have a story to tell. But what makes each one different is not how the story ends, but rather the place where it begins. Holy God.
Mama says if we went across the water, they wouldn't understand the way we talk.
If they can't understand you, then they're not listening. You know who you are, don't you? You're Buddy from Belfast, where everybody knows you.
Hey, Buddy! Your mom's calling you. Yes!
We're looking to cleanse the community a wee bit.
You wouldn't want to be the old man out in the street. Touch my family and I'll kill you.
Are we gonna have to leave Belfast?
We'll fight this together. This is it.
This is what?
This is war.
Elsa, tell us all about Kenneth Branagh's 2021 film, Belfast.
I always forget that I have to do this.
You're good at it, though.
Am I?
Yeah.
I don't know if I will be now. Okay. Kenneth Branagh's Belfast was, I believe, the first film that he had written and directed with no co-writers. He actually won an award for this. He won an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It is loosely, not really that loosely, but it's autobiographical. He grew up in Northern Ireland and he left when he was 9. And so this very much recounts his sort of memory, his experiences, told through the little boy, Buddy, of living through the Troubles, which is, very briefly, a 30-year-long war, time of discontent in Northern Ireland, largely between Protestants and Catholics, which resulted in about 30,000 people being seriously injured. I think around 4,000 people died. And a lot of the Northern Irish people moved abroad. Some went to Canada, some went to Australia, some went to England. And so that's what this story is about.
See? Well told.
Thank you.
Couple of other things to mention about the film. It's predominantly in black and white.
It is, yeah, but it was one of the first ones that he actually shot digitally, and he wasn't on film, which I think was for a couple of reasons, one of which I think was a budgetary thing.
Yeah, it was just after COVID or around COVID.
Yeah, well, they shot during COVID.
I shot during COVID.
So there wasn't a lot of studio spaces, I don't think, either. I think they ended up having to shoot... They did shoot some in Northern Ireland, but I also think they shot some on, like, an old abandoned air hangar in Hampshire. Which we'll get onto a sec, but I have some stuff to say about that. And yeah, reasonably low budget in terms of a feature film. I think it was like $11 million, more or less. And it was pretty quick, like in and out. It was in theaters in January 2021, which I think is when we first saw it.
Yep.
That feels like yesterday to me. That's crazy that was...
Yeah.
That like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
5. What year is it?
2005. 4 years.
4 years ago. But yeah, it's an incredibly beautiful film. It's 98 minutes.
Yeah.
98. Bring back the 90
Thank you,
minute
Kenneth.
films. Yeah, and also I didn't feel like it felt really short.
It feels perfect.
It was
in
the
length.
perfect
Yeah.
pace. Yeah, I thought it was really good. I didn't feel good though when it finished. I felt quite sad. I think I cried in the cinema. Did I?
I think we both did.
Why the fuck did they leave Judi Dench? Why did
Yeah.
they leave the grandmother behind? She's now on her own. Her husband's died.
Yeah.
Why did they leave her? Absolutely no way.
I don't think she ever wants to go though, does she? She's not going to leave.
No, I think she doesn't want to leave, and doesn't she? She has a line that's like, I can't, or someone has a line where they're like, the Irish have to leave, otherwise that Noah would have any pubs
Okay.
or something. And there's a lot of kind of stuff in it about coming back home and leaving, and spreading your wings, but remaining Irish, and it's.
There's that great scene with the grandfather and Buddy. I think it's when he's in the hospital, and he's like
Ciaran Hinds,
and he's like, you are Buddy. Like, remember who you are, and it doesn't matter where you go and where your family is. Like, we are always part of you. We are always here. And like, remember who you are, and remember that I said this to you. Like, remember this. And it's like a sweet, touching moment, because Ciaran Hinds is a character both on the sort of, well, he's not well, is he? He's in hospital, and I think he dies shortly after in the film.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's approaching the end of his life, and he's also just learning that Buddy and Jamie Dornan and the rest are going to be going to England, and it's him sort of almost like saying goodbye, but like also saying like, I'll never be truly gone, that kind of thing, That's a very like sweet moment in the film.
Yeah.
So I put on a different bloody accent every day just to annoy them. I never knew who it was, but I did. And that's the only one who needs to know. You know who you are, don't you?
Yes, Pop.
Your buddy from Belfast 15. Where everybody knows you. And your pop looks out for you. And your mommy looks out for you. Your daddy looks out for you. Your granny looks out for you. Your brother looks out for you. And the whole family looks out for you. And wherever you go, and whatever you become, that'll always be the truth. And that thought will keep you safe. It'll keep you happy. You remember that for me?
Yes, Pop.
Aye, fine man you are.
There was a lot of those kind of. I feel like something Kenneth Branagh is really good at, and I think this is a theatre thing, is he's really good at playing the silences and things. So like the moment where it's communicated that Ciaran Hinds, the grandfather character, has passed away, is Buddy's running to get to his dad, and he gets there, and it's just two singles, and they're just looking at each other, and that Jamie Dornan dad he's registered it, and he's like, oh, and the little boy's kind of desperate, trying, she's sort of trying to hold on a little bit, and it's just so beautiful. And I feel like there are a lot of those kind of quite quiet moments that are
he's tremendously efficient. Him in tandem with the cinematographer, I can't remember the name of, unfortunately. They're very efficient with the shot selection, and there's quite a few scenes that do sort of just play out in like a tableau, really, like in a single shot. There's that scene where like Buddy's in between his two grandparents on the sofa, and you get the sort of fun bickering between the grandparents, and Buddy in the middle learning from these two people, and like he doesn't feel the need to do a lot with the camera because he's just blocked it and framed it in such a way that, and again, maybe this is the, like you say, the theatre background. It's like, that's all you need, and you've got these incredible performances that they can speak for themselves. We don't need to go mad with fancy camera work or
and I feel like it is so, there's quite a lot of long shots, there's quite a lot of kind of one shots, especially sort of going through the street, which is like his, you know, working class neighborhood, what it is at the start, and then as it gets slowly more sort of dilapidated and broken down, there's a lot of kind of just long steady shots following, or I don't, maybe it was on a dolly, but it's really, it's just storytelling. Every shot is like storytelling, and it matches the pace so beautifully. And the sound design as well, I feel like I think that was actually nominated for an Oscar for this film, because it was so clever, and it was so from the perspective of the 9-year-old, that like the moments that feel like really overwhelming or really tense, and not necessarily just like the riot scenes, just things like where he's feeling like a lot of pressure in you know, the class, and he really wants to rise through the ranks so he can sit next to this girl, and like all of these kind of moments, it really, the audience is really put through the paces as this 9-year-old through. I feel like the sound gets so intense at times. It was just so clever, and
It's also used for comedy as well, like where
it was
yeah,
quite
like,
funny.
where he's like in the sermon.
He's like,
church.
it's really good.
Yeah, and he's like this really
nice.
intense fucking like sermon, but
yeah, he's like sweating and spitting. It's just, and but he's like,
yeah.
Yeah, it was really, it was great. I feel like the black and white, I think, really added to it, in that it was like, it kind of does feel like you're watching someone's memories.
Yeah.
And I think probably the black and white is used to detach us a little bit from the present.
I always know when there's no money.
Hello? It's the rat man.
I'll get it, Mom.
Shut your voice. Is your mom in there, wee man?
Nobody's here.
I also saw a interesting video, I think it's like 2 minutes long, with Kenneth Branagh talking about the use of black and white in this film.
Oh, what did he say?
So part of the reason for black and white was essentially what you said. He said it kind of feels like you're both in the past and in the present by using black and white. It feels like an almost like timeless kind of thing, and with it being about his childhood, he kind of wants to evoke that sort of slightly like nostalgic, dreamlike thing to it. But he was also talking about what he described as the difference between like black and white back in the day of like early film, and he said you have Hollywood black and white and you have European black and white. And Hollywood black and white has this beautiful sort of he described it as almost like a velvety texture to it, and it can make places and people look really glamorous. And European black and white, because I guess of the different types of cinema in terms of what they're kind of making as well with it, is like European black and white has a slightly harsher quality, can make people look a bit more I can't remember what the word was, but like you see what I'm saying. It's like it's a harsher. It's like, and he was saying that he would mix the two through and one of the advantages of doing it digitally was that he could then, through the grading process, he could kind of lean into one or the other in different scenes for different effects. And I think there's definitely a sense of like, you know, because he's looking back at it with not just like this is a tough time in Irish history and a you know, a tough time for his family, but he's also looking back at it with a lot of fondness, right? And like he clearly loved his childhood, and
like the Chitty Bang stuff is all in color. And like,
and you can see him discovering really his love of film because it's in color and it's like this whole other world that opened up to it. But I think you can also tell that there's a real love for the people that live there.
Yeah.
And I think the way, you know, and like, you know, some of the people in it are beautiful looking people anyway, right? But like you can see the way what he's talking about the Hollywood and adding the glamour. There are shots of Caitríona Balfe or Jamie Dornan, and like Ciaran Hinds and Judi Dench and stuff, where they look fucking great. You know, there's a glamour to them with the black and white aspects, and I can totally see. As soon as he said that, I was like, oh yeah, I get it. There's like a shot that they used in the video of just like Caitríona Balfe like just sat by a wall, like just sat against a wall, and it looks like an old beautiful photograph of someone from that era. And then I can also see where he's using this, like what he calls the more European black and white, when you get into the sort of like slightly grittier scenes of the film, and they just like ease back on the glamour a bit. You know, there's a beautiful scene where they're like dancing and like Jamie Dornan sings.
Well, so I was gonna say, this is like the whole film is really interspersed with these just moments of just absolute joy.
Yeah.
And like they dance a lot. The grandparents have a bit of a dance. The parents have a few dances. He's serenades her as their, I think it's like their big goodbye party. Like when, you know, the little boy makes it finally to the front of the class, and then they do a project like with his, you know, there's all these kind of moments of like just like, yeah, funny moments, but also moments of like joy. And I think that is so true to life, that you can be absolutely in the trenches and something beautiful happens, or you know, you remember that you're around your family who you love or something. I think that's what makes this film so easy to watch and so enjoyable, because he's nailed it. He's got the pacing. It doesn't do a disservice to Irish people of just being like, these were the troubles and all they had was troubles. It's you know,
but I think that probably comes with the perspective of someone who lived through it, but lived through it through the eyes of a child, right? And I think, you know, he has a very particular perspective on it. I think, you know, an English person making a film like this, I mean, probably not feel right anyway, but like would probably lean into it was all depressing and really hard and all that kind of stuff. Maybe someone who lived through it as an adult would have another perspective on it, than more complicated. And then someone who's lived through it as a child and then left and then had a sort of almost two childhoods in a way, because you know, completely different culture, well, not culture, but, you know, setting.
So interestingly, Ciaran Hinds
had a similar...
Well, they grew up a mile away from each other,
but
they didn't know each other. And they were like 7 years apart, but they both ended up moving to the UK around the same time, and they both ended up going to RADA, I think. So like they were kind of ships in the night. But I reckon that must have been like, there must have been some very interesting conversations between them in pre-production and on set, because obviously Kenneth was 8 or 9, and I think Ciaran Hinds was probably more like 16. So like you would have had a lot more of an idea of what was going on around you, and there was a lot of like trying to enlist youths in that age group into the writing and things like that. So yeah, I'm sure that would have been an interesting kind of difference that they had.
You're running around here like the man in the big picture, not paying your taxes and spending all our money on horses.
It's the building trade. I told you it doesn't work the normal way. I told you I had it covered.
I was the one who had it covered.
No, you had us paying 3 years of back tax.
To keep you out of bloody jail. We're drowning in debt.
We're near done with the back tax. £10 a month for 3 bloody years. This is the time to think about making a new start.
I know nothing else but Belfast.
Exactly. There's a whole world out there. We can give these boys a better chance than we ever had. There's Commonwealth countries needing tradesmen. The government will give you assisted passage. We can get the whole family to the other side of the world for £10.
I'm going to try and say this in not a leading way.
Okay.
What did you think of the casting?
Of everyone?
Yeah. Was there anything in particular that stood out to you? Because I have things to say.
Okay. Well, you say the thing. I don't have a particular issue with the cast.
I don't want to say what I want to say. I want you to say what I want to say because I feel bad if I have to say what I want to say.
Do you think, and I haven't got a problem with this, are you going to say that, and I can always cut this out if it goes wrong. Do you feel like his parents are too beautiful?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say.
I think you're so much more obsessed with his parents being hot than I am.
Well, I didn't know if you felt like they were a bit too...
shiny.
Yeah, like Hollywood. And I think they're both Irish, right? So it kind of fits, but like...
No, I don't think so. Like, I think that they both acted so beautifully, and I think potentially Jamie Dornan could have been gruffed up a little bit more. He did always seem like a bit of a poster boy. Yeah. So that is for sure. But otherwise, like, especially because of the nature of the work he was doing, always traveling back and forth, and he was a lot of time in the pub and betting on the horses and like, I do feel like his character design in terms of costume and hair and makeup could have been a little more. Maybe he didn't want that, but no shade to the artist. Maybe that was like his choice. But no, that wasn't what I was going to say.
Oh, okay. What were you going to say then?
Ugh.
You can't set this up without...
Yeah, I know. I just feel bad saying it because I have a lot of respect for the person that I'm about to talk about. A lot of respect.
Judi.
Yes.
What's your sort of beef for Judi?
It would be the height of my career to do something with Dame Judi. I just want to be really, really clear. And I have a lot of respect, but I'm sorry. I think she was miscast in this film.
Really?
Her accent was going in and out. She was, I think...
See, you're a lot hotter at accents than I am, because I thought she was fine.
No, it was really bad. There were times where it was really good, and then that made the bad moments even more noticeable. Like, I think if she had done more of a sort of centralist, softer accent, she could have got away with it.
Okay.
But it was too much. And I feel like her character, supposing to have been childhood sweethearts and with Ciaran Hinds, she's about 20 years older than him. Very noticeably.
That did strike me. That didn't strike me when watching the film, interestingly. It struck me when and it's weird because I've seen Ciaran Hinds and other things before, but like, it struck me when I was watching a behind the scenes thing, and then there was a Ciaran Hinds clearly doing a talking head about the film, sort of clearly off, like after filming.
Right.
And I was like, he looks quite young.
Yeah, because he is.
Yeah.
He aged himself up in it, I could tell, with his physicality and his...
Yeah.
And he's a great actor, and like, did they have chemistry? Like, yeah, they're both great actors, and I thought it was genuinely, like, all of their little bits were very, very sweet. And, she kind of tells him off a bit, and like, but I also was like, this could be like his auntie. Like, it just, to me, I didn't love it together, and I just felt like, I don't know.
So do you feel like
it almost was distracting? I was like, I know how much Kenneth loves Judi dead.
Who doesn't?
They've actually only done, this is like the 6th film they did together, which is crazy for me, but I think they've done theatre together for their entire careers. But, so, like, I get it. And also, who gives a fuck what I think or what I have to say? Like, if Dame Judi Dench was like one of your best friends and you were making a film about your childhood and you knew that she'd be in it, would you not be like,
I also think from a casting perspective, and this is not how you should necessarily cast a film, because it's kind of like it's kind of casting it in a slightly meta way of like what a preconceived audience member notion going into a film is and how you can then influence them.
Yeah.
And I think like, because she's so beloved, it's like a shortcut way to be like, you will love this grandma. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's Judi. And so you go, well, of course we love the grandma because it's Judi Dench.
Yeah.
And like I say, it's probably not the way technically you should really cast a film. I'm not saying this is what they did.
Yeah.
But I do think that
I think maybe they did.
Well, then it could have been a thing, yeah. Like, and if you're thinking about it as well from like Kenneth Branagh's perspective, right? It's a very personal film. It's clearly about himself and his family and all that kind of stuff, and you know, clearly a lot of love for his grandparents. They're such a central figure in the film, and maybe it's like a kind of like, you know, who else would I want to play my grandmother other than Judi Dench? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're not necessarily thinking about how that matches up with.
But you should.
But you should.
I mean, okay, so I think Ciaran Hinds was so great in this film. So perfect, but just a little bit too young. If you say we keep Dame Judi, who would we recast as the granddad?
I'm trying to think of Irish actors is the problem.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking
I
of
was
like...
going to say maybe like Timothy Spall.
Yeah.
But he's not Irish.
Or like I was thinking like a Jim Broadbent, but he's so not Irish that like, do you know what I mean? But that kind of...
like a John Lithgow.
Yeah.
Not Irish.
Not Irish. But
then again, neither is Dame Judi, and maybe together they would have had
Irish heritage though.
She does, I think,
because she was in Philomena as well.
Well, so she was. I can't remember if she was adopted, but I know that her family lineage comes from Dublin. She's not Northern Irish,
right?
But I think
there's an Irish history to it, yeah.
But that was my only. That was kind of my only gripe.
Fair. Have you seen, to slightly change the subject, we're still sticking on casting, have you seen, which is something I saw in the behind the scenes thing, a picture of Kenneth Branagh at that age?
No.
Because my God, he looks like Buddy. The actor, the Jude, is it Jude?
Jude Hill.
Jude Hill. They look alike.
Really?
Yeah, and it's kind of like, yeah, I can see why he was
great little Jude, wasn't he?
He was really good.
He was very, I think child actors, in my experience, often do a lot of, it's like mimicking or it's mirroring. It's not a totally authentic, like, acting.
Yeah.
Which, makes sense with their kids. But I think it's quite unusual to get a child actor who's super authentic and can just kind of be in the moment and feel it out. And I didn't feel like there's not many child performers that I've seen do that. I think Haley Joel Osment, when he was younger, was one of them. He's an incredible young actor. So is Dakota
Fanning?
Yeah. Fucking hell, she was such a good actor. She probably says. But I did feel like a lot of the time we were watching a child act.
Right.
Rather than just seeing the character, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
But he's a kid, and I think actually there was I read that a lot of the time they were shooting 50-50, which is where you roll and you don't announce that you're rolling. And so they would do that on the rehearsals. Because often when they would start rolling, I think he'd get too in his head about it and it would come across as quite inauthentic. So Kenneth Branagh started doing this, and then apparently Jude noticed, he clocked on that was what they were doing.
They taped up the
taped
up the
lights so
yeah.
that they couldn't see. Yeah, so I think there was probably I can see that maybe it wouldn't have been like the easiest thing to shoot with him, maybe because he was so young, and I think this was his first big thing. But he was a joy to watch, and I see why he was cast. His comedic timing was very good.
Yeah, he's funny.
He was funny.
He's really likable. Like, he's lovable.
And when that little girl is dragging him into the riots, and he's like, "No, I'm going home. I don't want to go. I'm going home." That was great. And he, panics and he grabs a Turkish delight.
And he has good chemistry with the other performers. He has good chemistry with the grandparents. He has good chemistry with his parents on screen. Like, yeah, it works. It definitely works.
Yeah.
Um,
his terror face of when his mum is screaming at him.
Yeah.
I know that feeling so well from when I was a kid. That moment of like, oh fuck, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
Like, here we go. When he's what bit is it where? Oh, it's just after they've rioted and he's stolen the washing powder.
Yeah, and she drags.
He kind of thinks she's gonna be happy because he got her washing powder. It's biological, and then she's like, "You stay right there," and he's like, it's just this terror that I just thought was so good.
I also love the fact that she doesn't just drag him back to put back. She takes the girl that and she drags her along, and it's just like.
But I think that is such a beautiful, like, that's those neighborhoods, right?
Yeah.
And that's like it's the family, and it's.
Yeah.
I like how also, to my knowledge, I don't actually think we ever learn the mum and the dad's names.
No, they're
always
just ma
and your
pa.
Yeah. Go get your da.
Yeah.
Go, it's always like, or your man, your one.
Yeah.
Like, no one ever says like, Michael or Jane.
Yeah,
whatever they are. So I think, it's really.
Well, also again makes sense through the lens of the the kid, because
See, when you're a kid, that is, you say my mum or mum.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, I've got to go home. Mum's making a chicken or something.
Hi, buddy.
Hello. Thanks. I'll come back. Make sure you do. Cheerio.
Have you seen the alternate ending for this film that didn't actually get?
No, I didn't know there was an alternate ending.
So I just found it this morning because I had a very long overground journey. So I was just YouTubing Belfast to look for things. And
did they take Judi Edge with them?
No. So it's modern day, and it's Kenneth Branagh as Buddy arriving at Belfast airport, and then someone is giving him a tour of Belfast, and then he's like, "Oh, can you turn down this street?" And they're like, "Why?" And he's like, "Just turn down the street." And then he gets out, and then he's back on the street that he grew up on, and he bumps into, I think it might have been his teacher or one of the women that lives along the street, and he has a conversation with her, and then he tells the woman that was giving him the tour that he's going to find his own way back to the hotel, and she's like, "Oh, have you?" I'll put it in as a clip, and it's like, she's like, "Oh, but you won't know your way around," and he's like, "Of course I will. This is home," or something. It's really quite cheesy.
I'm really glad that they didn't edit
it
that.
ends on a shot of him walking away from the camera down the street, and then the sort of main cast join him walking down the street. So like Dench, Ciaran, Hinds, little Jude, his parents.
No.
And it's like, thank fuck that wasn't used.
Oh,
because
that's so contrived.
It would have had and I can only imagine they didn't use it because they looked
was
at it in the edit
terrible.
and he was like, yeah, we don't need this.
I hope maybe a test audience was like, no.
Or I'm not even sure it necessarily got to that, just because it's a very rough cut. Like, some of the sound is missing and all that kind of... I know test screenings can sometimes be in that rough state, but like, I'm not convinced that it even got that far. I think it was cut in the edit, but they maybe just kept the sequence as like a little like, oh, we'll include this on Blu-ray or something. Because it's...
Could he just really not let go of the fact that he wasn't in it? Was like, why did he feel like he had to? Oh my god, it's so much better that he did do that. I got like the ending as it stands on Judi Dench's face, and that is a beautiful close-up single, and you see all the lines in her face, and it's quite silver-toned, black and white. And then she says, she's like, go on now, my boy, don't look back. And then it comes up with what does it say? For those that left, for those that stayed, and for those that were lost, or something like that. And it was perfect. That was a great fucking ending.
Yeah.
Except that they left her behind.
It might have been one of those things that, you on paper in the script it read better, and in his head it was like, this will work, but my god, it doesn't work when you watch it. And I'm so glad.
It sounds like a freaking I don't know why I said that like that, but it sounds like a post-credit Marvel scene.
Does a little bit. It
actually doesn't sound like it fits with the tone of the film at all.
It also really felt, especially the end shot of them all walking together, it kind of, like, how you said it can feel, you can sort of see his theatre background. It almost felt a bit like that at the end. And it almost felt...
all the lights dimmed.
Yeah. And I was like, and I just watching it, I was like, this doesn't fit at all. And I'm so glad that they cut it, and that they saw that this wouldn't work. And like, testament to Kenny B, because he was like, this isn't working.
Maybe he didn't even want to do that, maybe he had to do that to make the studios happy. Maybe he got the ending that he wanted. Maybe they wanted him to do it because they were like, your name, like, we need your face in it somewhere. Whatever. I'm really glad that they did.
Yeah. But it's interesting seeing it. I think it's always interesting seeing this, because you always, generally, most of the time, when you see deleted scenes or you see alternate endings and stuff, you go, that good that was cut.
It's nice to see the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Quite interesting that they went with that. Also, it's all in colour, and I think that, and I
don't really, the people who like walk up behind him, are they in colour? Are they in black and white? Are they dead?
They're in colour. I think it's supposed to be him like remembering them, but I also get, again, it looks super rough and early, so it's not gone through a grade or anything like that, really. But I did think, when you see that street in like full colour at the end for a prolonged period of time, you're like, this now looks like a set.
It looked like a freaking set on the... There's a... This is what I wanted to say. There's a... I mean, not exactly what I'm about to say, but there's a street in London, just outside of London, and I'm terrible with remembering locations, but it's called like Happy Street or something. Do you know what I'm talking about? And it's like a set build of like a row of houses, and then it's like this, and then it kind of curves around and it cuts there, and it's like on the back of like a lot.
Right.
It feels like almost like a miniature WB lot or something. Like, it's, everyone is shot there, and you can spot it in so many commercials. Once you know it, you're like, there it is. Yeah. I've shot there maybe 3-4 times. And it just felt like that. Like, it felt completely like North Korea fake shop fronts. Really hollow out. It felt like a little bit soulless. I know from looking at photographs that a lot of houses back then did look like that. And in London, especially, like,
Yeah.
around kind of, you know, the late 40s, it was totally uniform, like,
Yeah.
and it did look almost fake. But there must have been something they could have done to make that look not quite so much like a set.
Yeah.
I don't even think there was streetlights. I think it was just like uniform houses. And I think when it is black, like when it's black and white, it takes away character. So you need to almost do even more so that it comes back to looking normal. Because I think probably if that was in colour, that street would have looked fine.
Well, I didn't in the cut scene. But
yeah,
but I think it's interesting though, because I think the interiors
were great.
Feel really lived in, and
it was very dark. And I know that he didn't really have much of a lighting team on this. A lot of it
was mostly natural light, wasn't it?
It was mostly natural. But I don't know, it kind of worked.
Yeah, well, you don't usually buy your wisdom with a walk in the park. Your heart has to explode.
Oh, Mr. Philosopher. And when did your heart ever explode?
That time I saw you in those brown stockings.
Oh, holy God. I remember that. It took me half the day just staining my legs brown with the tobacco water. Then our Annie took half the night to draw the seam up the back of my legs with a pencil. You couldn't understand why you couldn't get your hands around them. You thought it was magic?
What's magic? When you've grey hair, people think your heart never skipped.
Did yours ever skip?
You danced a bloody jig every time you walked in the room.
Do you know what I like as well? Is that it's a sort of
About this one?
Yeah, that it's sort of slightly autobiographical, but I never feel like it is bordering on self-indulgence, as I did with that. And even then, I actually liked that film. But do you remember The Fabelmans, the Steven Spielberg film? And I liked that film. I enjoyed it. We went to the cinema to see that as well. But maybe because of the length of it, or I don't know what it was, but there was a slight sense of me that I was like, and I allowed it because it's Steven Spielberg, and it's kind of like, yes, like you are allowed to now make your slightly self-indulgent film about your childhood.
God, that was a hard film to watch though, wasn't it?
But with this, I never felt it really bordered on self-indulgence at all.
Because I think it was Fabelmans is so much just about, which is fine, it's autobiographical, but it's so much just about him and his experiences, his family, his hobbies, his discovery of film. Whereas this felt more about the people, the culture, the history.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just about him.
Yeah.
And I think that's why
it works in that way.
Yeah, because also I love to learn something from a film. Like, I knew like a little bit about the Troubles beforehand, but not loads. And it was kind of, I thought it was interesting to.
And I also think
a glimpse.
I also think it's very clever the way he does get in those more personal moments, like his sort of discovery of his love of cinema. That's done in a very clever and sort of like, I was going to say subtle way, but it's not that subtle because you have Chitty Chitty Bang Bang full colour blaring at him. But like,
absolutely love that film when I was younger.
But it's not sort of overly lingered on, it's like, you just see the joy on his face, sort of awe.
Yeah.
And I saw an interesting, this is slightly off topic, but this is what we do. I saw Ari Aster talking about, he was asked about AI. And he was saying that when he grew up and he was discovering film for the first time, he would be in awe of it. And that was the word he used, was like, he would be awestruck by it, because he'd be like, how did they do that? Like, what is this like magic that I'm seeing? And he was saying that with AI now, he's like, you can make images like that in like 2 seconds, and there's none of that. There's less of that sort of like awe and discovery of like, wow, like there's like a world has been opened up to you. And like in the case of Belfast, like he's seeing in color. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I don't really have a point attached to that, but I just think I think the use of color in that scene is like such a lovely way of showing that awe and how like cinema can like transport you away from your life for like an hour or two. And like just really hope that that can continue in, without wanting to be too downbeat about the state of where we might be heading, but like I hope that continues, because that's kind of like I feel like that's the special part of it.
That particular film as well is all about imagination and play and escapism. So it was a good choice, I think. I'm trying to remember if I feel like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is part black and white, part colour.
Oh, like the Wizard of Oz is?
I think before... Yeah. Is it? Or am I totally making this up? Before they're in the flying car, it's black and white.
Have to go check that. I can't remember.
And then the fantasy world is in colour. It's been so long since I saw that film, but I would watch it every other weekend when I was a kid. And I just remember the inventions of like the boiled egg.
Yeah.
The one that makes the breakfast.
Yeah.
Ah, great stuff. Don't make films like that anymore. Whose fault is that? Anyway, I don't really have anything else to say. Shall we race it?
Shall we race it?
Okay.
Out of
5
biological
madness. Okay. What would you rate it out of 5 biological washing powders?
It's difficult for me to not really give anything other than like a 4 or a 5 for this film.
Yeah, but I'm hesitant to, and I think it's because I think I came away from this film going, this is a technically and creatively and emotionally beautiful film. Good job.
Yeah.
But I didn't come away going, fuck me, that was unbelievable. That was that was the best bit of cinema I've seen in a while. Like I didn't do any of that stuff. So like I kind of don't want to give it a 5, but I also don't really know how I would fault this film. Like I was so much more excited about The Matrix than I was about this film.
Sure. I'm gonna give it a 5.
Are you?
I think I am. Because I just think I can't find anything to fault it. And
yeah,
I think it's a really touching film. But I also think it's like you said, it's so joyous at the same time. It's like, the poster
looks like Stomp.
Is hit, and it's kind of like him jumping
with a bin lid.
And it's like, I just think it's really easy to see it and go, "Oh, Belfast, that's going to be depressing. It's black and white. I'm not going to watch that." And then you find yourself laughing through most of the film. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I love the homage that it is to the Northern Irish people and his family, and especially his mum. Like his mum was such a G in this film. Like, she's always jumping in to save him, but also like give him a box around the ears. Do you know what I mean? Like
the little cutaway as well of when the rent man arrives and she's like
drags him onto the
tackles him to the ground and like covers
like,
his mouth.
Yeah, great stuff. She kind of reminds me of my mum, this character, and like when when the police come round and she's like, say hi to your mom for me or whatever, and then she's like, you go down these stairs. Like, she was so good. And when she rescues him at the very, very start and she grabs his bin shield off of him and then immediately she was some freaking superhero with it. Like, she was great. Yeah, I could have just watched the whole film of her. I don't think I've ever seen Caitríona Balfe in anything.
I was familiar with her just because Evie watched a lot of Outlander, and she's like the lead in that.
Okay.
But
my mom, I've never watched.
I hadn't actually seen her in anything like properly before.
Okay. I give it. I should just give it a 5.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't really have a reason not to.
Yeah.
Other than
the casting issue.
Oh, don't hold on to that. I feel so bad if I'm gonna say it, but I stand by it.
Right. Fair.
I will double down.
Yeah.
No, did you kind of see what I mean with it?
I get what you mean, and I think I see it. I get what you mean.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me.
Yeah. Okay.
I really like them both in it, so it's hard for me to go, they should have cast someone else, because I'm really fond of both of them in the role, but I can definitely see what you mean by the sort of
and her final
disparity between the ages and stuff like that.
Her single at the end where she's like, don't look back, go on now, my son, I thought was so beautiful, and that was her best moment, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So 5, you're giving it 5? So a perfect 10 for Belfast.
And the other will spew you into an eternal pit of sulphurous suffering, postulating pain from which you will never, ever through the 7 circles of hell escape. And I ask you here and now, which road will you take? Now, money.
Thanks very much. Really good.
So now is the time where we dive into the credits. That's what you say.
Yeah.
And pick a crew member from this film, and that will determine the film that we are watching next week. It's my week to provide the crew.
Yes.
And James gets to decide. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
You're going to hate some of these. Okay. So first up, we have Emma Boswell, the drone supervisor.
Okay.
John Baker, the armorer.
Don't think we've had an armorer before. Mind you, I don't think we've had a drone suit.
I don't know if we've had an armorer, but I know that we have had a few people from stunt team.
We've definitely had, we've definitely had
they're not the same thing, but
effects, like special effects and stuff, yeah.
Next up, Philip Patinote. I'm sorry, Phil.
Sorry, Phil, if you're watching.
Patinote. It's spelled like the Italian.
Right.
Panettone.
Yeah.
But it's not. Okay. Anyway, sorry. He's a medic.
Oh, we haven't had a medic before.
Had a medic.
But I'm not sure we've had a drone person either.
I chose all of these because I don't think that we have had them before.
It's good to have variety.
Also,
everyone is appreciated.
Drone supervisor, that's given HOD vibes for me.
She's supervising that drone.
She's the HOD of that drone.
She's like, hey, don't crash that.
To herself.
Yeah. I feel like it's naturally picked itself, hasn't it? We'll go with, what was her name again?
Emma Boswell.
Emma Boswell, the drone supervisor.
So next week,
I'm
sorry, we will be watching Emerald Fennell's Saltburn.
When you said Emerald Fennell, I thought Promising Young Woman.
No.
Because I like that one.
I haven't actually seen that one.
That one, and we'll go into this next time.
This one.
Promising Young Woman, I really liked.
But it can get in the bin because we're doing Saltburn.
Saltburn. I have thoughts, and you will hear those thoughts next time. Thank you very much for listening and watching to the podcast. I can't even talk now because I'm thinking about Saltburn.
I know.
It's already
Sorry.
it's already
been a
where.
great episode. Join us next week. We'll be talking about Saltburn.
Thank you very much and goodbye.
Sorry.